Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just a Hollywood star, she was a force of nature. Are you ready to discover the untold secrets of a true legend? Never assume you know everything about Elizabeth Taylor. Her life was filled with twists, passions, and moments that defied expectations. From daring rescues to record-breaking diamonds, here are 10 fascinating facts about Dame Elizabeth Taylor that even her most devoted fans may not know. 10. Violet eyes and double eyelashes. Elizabeth Taylor's genetic marvel. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just beautiful. She was genetically unique. Born with dystichiasis, a rare condition that gave her 2 rows of eyelashes, her gaze was naturally dramatic and unforgettable. These lush lashes framed her violet eyes, a rare eye color caused by a mix of light scattering and pigmentation. Many assumed it was a Hollywood trick, but the color was real and mesmerizing. Early in her career, a casting director even complained her eyes looked too mature for a child. But those eyes became her signature. In 1976, she even won a Most Memorable Eyebrows poll, beating out Lassie the dog. Her striking beauty could silence a room, and both men and women were said to be left breathless. 9. 8 marriages to 7 men. Elizabeth Taylor's dramatic love life. Elizabeth Taylor's romantic life was as legendary as her film career. She married 8 times to 7 different men, starting at just 18 with Conrad Nicky Hilton Jr. That marriage lasted only 9 months. Her third husband, producer Mike Todd, died in a plane crash, leaving her devastated. She later married Eddie Fisher, who was still married to Debbie Reynolds, sparking a scandal. Her most iconic love was Richard Burton. They met during Cleopatra, fell madly in love, and married twice, first in 1964, then again in 1975. Their passionate, volatile relationship captivated the world. Her final husband, Larry Fortensky, was a construction worker she met in rehab. Despite the ups and downs, Elizabeth never stopped believing in love. 8. The first woman to earn $1 million for one movie. Elizabeth Taylor's bold payday. Elizabeth Taylor made history by becoming the first actor ever paid $1 million for a single film. 1963's Cleopatra. At the time, it was an unheard of sum, roughly equal to $10 million today. Ironically, Elizabeth wasn't even eager to take the role. She jokingly told the studio she'd do it for $1 million, assuming they'd say no. To her surprise, they said yes. With that bold move, Taylor not only changed her career, but transformed Hollywood pay standards forever. The film's production was famously chaotic and costly, but it helped launch her high-profile romance with Richard Burton, fueling massive publicity and box office buzz. Taylor later remarked, "If someone's dumb enough to offer me $1 million, I'm not dumb enough to turn it down." 7. An Oscar-winning role. She hated Elizabeth Taylor in Butterfield. Elizabeth Taylor won her first Oscar in 1961 for Butterfield 8, a film she openly despised. Playing a high-end call girl in a story involving infidelity, the role felt uncomfortably close to her own tabloid-covered personal life. She only took the part because of contractual obligations with MGM, and later joked that the Academy rewarded her for being the biggest slut, mocking how the public viewed her at the time. Many believed her win wasn't about performance, but sympathy. She had recently battled a near-fatal illness and was grieving the loss of husband Mike Todd. Fellow nominee Shirley MacLaine, favored to win for The Apartment, famously quipped, "I lost to a tracheotomy." 6. 1 hour from death, saved by an emergency tracheotomy. In 1961, while filming Cleopatra, Elizabeth Taylor nearly died from pneumonia. Her condition became so severe that doctors warned husband Eddie Fisher she was just 1 hour from death. In a desperate move, surgeons performed an emergency tracheotomy, cutting her throat to restore breathing. The risky procedure saved her life, leaving a small scar, but Taylor wasn't done making headlines. Just days later, she stunned everyone by attending the Academy Awards, accepting her Oscar for Butterfield 8, with the track scar still visible. That unforgettable moment, Elizabeth in a glamorous gown showing her resilience, became Hollywood legend. 5. Heroic rescue. Elizabeth Taylor saved Montgomery Clift's life. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just a Hollywood beauty, she was a real-life hero. In 1956, after a party at her Beverly Hills home, her close friend and co-star, Montgomery Clift, crashed his car into a telephone pole nearby. Hearing the crash, Elizabeth rushed to the wreck. What she found was horrifying. Clift's face was shattered, and he was choking on his own teeth and blood. Without hesitation, Elizabeth climbed into the wreckage and used her fingers to pull 2 teeth from his throat, saving his life before help arrived. Her bravery prevented a tragedy. 4. A change of faith. Elizabeth Taylor's bold conversion to Judaism. In 1959, at age 27, Elizabeth Taylor converted to Judaism, taking the Hebrew name Elisheba Rachel. Though many speculated she did it for love, since both her late husband Mike Todd and soon-to-be husband Eddie Fisher were Jewish, Elizabeth insisted the decision was deeply personal. "It had absolutely nothing to do with my marriages," she said. "It was something I had wanted for a long time." At a time when anti-Semitism was still prevalent, her conversion was a bold and meaningful choice. Elizabeth embraced her new faith with pride, even facing threats from anti-Israel extremists, which led her to increase her personal security. 3. Best friends with the king of pop, and she gave him an elephant. One of Elizabeth Taylor's most unexpected friendships was with Michael Jackson. Despite coming from different eras, they shared a deep bond rooted in childhood fame and emotional isolation. Their friendship began in the 1980s and blossomed into something truly unique. In 1991, Michael hosted Elizabeth's 8th wedding at his Neverland ranch, walked her down the aisle, and reportedly covered the $1.5 million cost. In return, Elizabeth gave him a 5,000-pound Asian elephant named Gypsy for his personal zoo, one of the most extravagant gifts in Hollywood history. 2. A perfume empire built on passion and white diamonds. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just a Hollywood legend. She was also a pioneering entrepreneur. In 1987, she launched her first fragrance, Passion, followed by the iconic white diamonds in 1991. The latter became a blockbuster success, earning over $1.5 billion by 2018 and ranking among the best-selling celebrity perfumes of all time. Elizabeth helped create every detail of her scents, insisting on high quality and a personal touch. Her perfumes captured the glamour and elegance she was known for, making women feel a bit of Hollywood magic in every bottle. 1. Fashionably late, even to her own funeral. Elizabeth Taylor was famously always late, to parties, sets, and even her own wedding. Her last husband, Larry Fortensky, once joked, "She was always late." But Elizabeth embraced this reputation with humor. In a final act of wit, she requested her funeral begin 15 minutes late, just so she could be fashionably late one last time. And so, in April 2011, mourners in Glendale, California waited, smiling through tears as the service began behind schedule, just as she wished. As one friend put it, the party didn't start until Elizabeth arrived. So, of course, she made sure her final entrance was unforgettable, on Elizabeth time, as always.